Yeah, I was waiting for the
There we
pop
go.
up. What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the Backyard Quarterbacks podcast. This is episode 12, and I can't believe we made it this far. We made it all the way through a full college season. We even just had the conference championship games this past week. And we're ready to get into some football. Guys, how you doing this weekend? Did I freeze? Like, why are y'all staring at me?
Yeah,
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Lazy weekend for me, man. Yesterday, what I do yesterday? Woke up, ran some errands,
football.
football. Yeah, I mean, there was one game in particular that I made sure to watch. We'll talk about that. And today, man, woke up. I made me this amazing breakfast bowl: 3 eggs, 2 pieces of sausage, mushrooms, spinach. Crushed that shit, dog. And then just hung around the house, did some laundry, watched the most exciting game I've ever seen with the Jaguars, which we'll get to as well.
Yeah.
Super lazy weekend for me, but much deserved. Or
Yeah,
I don't know about deserved.
Yeah.
What about you, Hartle?
Yeah, I mean, Florida State didn't lose in football, so it was good. They did lose in basketball, which is bad since we are a basketball school now. The only good thing I can think of is that if the basketball team starts being bad, then we're back to being a football school, and that the football team's just going to keep going up and up and up.
But we'll always be a
it's good to have that versatility. You can bounce back and forth.
But
Maybe it'll be
yeah,
a baseball school again.
Jacksonville Jaguars. I'm not really going to say anything about that right now. Don't have much to say, so I don't want to. Yeah.
I'm this is a fun time of year for me because this is when like basically my
when you were
department,
supposed to
my
be in
work.
when y'all were. Did you say it is a fun time or it's supposed to be because y'all were supposed to be in the conference championship?
Playoffs.
Oh no, I meant like my personal life fun time. No, no.
Wait, you
just
have
because
one
at
of those?
work, like this is when our department ends up taking all their vacation, so I got extended weekend. So it was a nice weekend. Gonna be a long weekend. I even got tomorrow off, so which is Monday for those who were recording on
Dang.
Sunday for once.
Dang, that's
yeah.
hey, y'all want to do it tonight?
But yeah,
You know,
exactly.
y'all want to record tonight?
So, but good weekend of football. Obviously, Gators weren't playing either, so not really a weekend where I really care who wins. Just wanted to watch some good football, and I feel
But
like
you
at least
you
on
feel
Saturday
like
we got rewarded for
you
it.
picked up a W, and I'd say let's instead of going to this Jaguar game, let's talk about your W, the new Gator coach.
You're the new Gator coach. Yeah, Ryan's favorite topic. He's really excited about it.
I'm ready to go in.
Ryan's ready to lay in on me. He's waiting for me to say one wrong word, and he's just like, "No,
Really? The GOAT? Do you understand who the GOAT is? Do you ever heard of Tom Brady? Michael Jordan?
Well, I would say for
Nick
college football right
Saban?
now, coaches.
Billy
Yes,
Napier?
Nick Saban.
Oh, yeah.
But
Who?
it's about to be Billy Napier,
Yeah.
the new Gators head coach.
Billy?
It's it's always an exciting time when you fire the old coach when he had a bad year,
And you're like,
and then
oh,
the
I'm
new coach
upset.
gets
I'm
hired.
bad.
Yeah. Right.
This
You're
dude.
ready for a change. He hasn't done anything yet that
Yeah.
you can get pissed off about. So, it's that honeymoon phase that
Yeah.
we're in right now. But I don't, try to read too much into it. It seems like it's a good hire. It seems like one of the best hires we can
Well,
make
hold on.
in terms of.
Ooh. Vicky Valancourt is pressing charges on Billy Napier at Louisiana.
Vicky Valancourt?
Yeah, the chick from Waterboy with the mud cats, mud dogs.
Okay, very good, very nice.
Sorry,
news.
that was fake.
I mean,
fake
maybe
news.
if I remembered who the girl was
It's
from Waterboy.
CNN. It was fake. Sorry.
Right. No charges have been pressed as of right now, as of this recording.
Right.
But no, in terms of like the other hires, you got Chip Kelly went to LSU. You got Lincoln Riley went
Brian
out to
Kelly.
USC. So
Brian Kelly.
What's that?
Brian Kelly. Chip Kelly was like from 10 years ago.
Yeah,
he was a Gator.
Chip Kelly's already out in
offensive coordinator.
California. Brian Kelly. I was getting confused. But so there's a little bit of drama, looks like, with Brian Kelly and LSU already. So we don't have any of that. So I'd say that that's a win.
Is
Real
it
quick,
his
real quick
country
on the
accent?
Brian. Yeah, I was gonna say, did y'all see the first video of him addressing like the basketball stadium?
Yeah.
So Barstool
Yeah.
like dragged him. He's like, "It's so good to be here in Louisiana."
Oh, I heard.
All my
Yeah.
I didn't
family.
see that, but I heard that he did the Southern accent.
Yeah,
Yeah.
people are like, "Where the hell did this guy get a Southern accent?" He's
Yeah.
been in Louisiana for 10 minutes.
Yeah.
He was, yeah, he's at Notre Dame. Before that, he was at Cincinnati. So, like, I don't know where the Southern accent came from,
He
but
stopped by Pot Pies
he-
before.
he's
he
he's
went
trying to
there.
go to. I was gonna get make a political statement, but I'll just
Oh,
pass on that
yeah.
one.
Just calm down, man.
Talking
Talking about the Bible Belt.
pander to the country folk. But so for me, like just not having any real drama going on, I guess is a good thing. Billy Napier had his press conference on Sunday today, and I listened to it, and it wasn't anything exciting, anything really like groundbreaking that he's saying, not anything that we haven't heard before other coaches say. He's
Knows the
trying to
Bible.
build up the program. He wants to have
Pretty good.
a solid coaching staff behind him. He wants to have, a bunch of assistants. One thing I thought was interesting, he said he's going to have 2 offensive line coaches. He said he's like the only one, we're like going to be the only team that probably has
mean,
that right now.
2 has to be better than 1, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
they're going
his example was he's like, look, you don't have 1 defensive backs coach for all the 5 defensive backs, so why would you have only 1 offensive line coach? Whatever. If he builds up the program, if he comes in and recruits like he is acting like he's going to come in and recruit, that's fine. But I would just say that he seems like a confident guy, but he wasn't really like boastful or really. He just seemed kind of humble but also like that quiet confidence. So I'm excited to see where the program goes. I mean, it's always kind of exciting to see changes, especially when they look like they're going to be the right changes. We also got the new facility now, so that's been something that has been plaguing Florida for a while. Is that football facility just kind of lacking?
keep telling
So-
yourselves that.
We'll see. I mean, we'll see. So I'm excited though. It'll be fun to see.
Well, it is. He did win his last game at Louisiana Lafayette, so they won 24-16. I know, like, so I think Brian Kelly, it was in the news that he was leaving and what was done with Notre Dame, and there was a scenario, and it could have happened where Notre Dame could have gotten into the playoff if I think if Michigan would have lost.
Yes, that's correct.
So everyone was like, "Well, shit, what does he do? Does he like go back? I mean, whatever."
Yeah.
So I did think that was admirable that
were they
Billy
able to jump
Napier-
Bama if Georgia beat them?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Oh no. Yeah. That's a good point. That's crazy that he he leaves and Notre Dame would go to the playoffs. I mean, that would be an unusual situation.
right. But I thought it was commendable that Billy Napier coached, even though it was a meaningless game. They're ranked 24th. It's not, it was.
Yeah.
I'm sure they'll get a bowl game, but
It's their
thought
last
it was
bowl. In the few
Well,
years.
it's meaningless to us who are college football fans watching it, but it's much more meaningful to probably him who built up the program to finally get a championship. Well, I don't know if he only got the one, but to get the championship win there at the end, but also to his team, to finish out the season strong.
Yeah.
So
Great season. Beat Arkansas State by 1. Beat
there he
Georgia State
goes.
by 4. And also close one with South Alabama, but got them by 2.
How do you
So-
think they would have fared against Jacksonville State? Do you think they would have beat them, or do you think they?
I don't know. He probably would have got that L. I'll tell you that much. So he might not even gotten the job. But luckily he squeaked by these games.
That would have been the game that held him back.
I heard the AD saying that he was one of the people that had to watch the Sun Belt in 2019, and how any Gator will play it out, that this is the most magical experience. Just how it all laid out, that everything now is so much better. I'm just happy he didn't like threaten or just like told anybody, like, if you want to play thumb war me, I'll kick your ass. You want to go up there and do stadiums right now, I'll kick your ass. Like you didn't have that psychotic moment. So I do see a positive thing rolling for UF.
We're already off to a better start than the last guy, is what you're saying right now.
Yeah.
He's not rubbing anybody the wrong way, except for Ryan Hartle.
And I just say too, I mean, I still feel like you're you're, as in Florida, is light year ahead of Florida State. Like, we still are looking at a disappointing season coming up.
And
How
it hasn't
much
even started.
how much can Jordan Travis stay healthy? I mean,
Mm.
I actually heard, I hadn't looked it up, but I saw something that said Norvell has not won a game without Jordan Travis. So maybe we got fool's gold. Who knows? But I know the team and roster that he has right now is not the team and roster that he would, have recruited or whatever he wants to do. But not going back to Florida State, it sounds like y'all are gonna go out to pay the most money for every assistant coach possible. So it's almost like we talked about CEO coaches and stuff like that. It sounds
Yep.
like they're trying to make him the next Dabo, the next Kirby Smart. Like, hey, you're cheap as hell right now, so we're gonna spend 10 million on assistant coaches that are way better than you are, and then we're going to just make you that good,
So
what I mean?
he said that he's going to be the play caller. So I guess he'll be the offense. So that makes him the offense coordinator.
Risky.
Who was the guy that they wanted to get from Clemson?
That's the defensive coordinator, Venables.
Okay,
Yeah,
all right.
Venables.
Which
Yeah,
I guess is still in play.
Yeah, they were
I
going
haven't
to
heard either
make
way.
him the highest paid defensive coordinator in the
Which
nation,
he
right?
already is,
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
So, and if we kept Dan Mullen, that's actually kind of what I was hoping we would go for. So we got Dan Mullen, the offensive mind. And so I was hoping that if we fire a defensive coordinator, we go out and spend more money on a defensive coordinator to get the best. And then if you got the best defense coordinator and Dan Mullen on the offensive side, I felt like that. And especially if we replace the offensive line coach who just seemed to not really be producing great offensive lines, which is key in the SEC especially, but really in all big boy college football now, just they got big strong offensive lines. So we got to get better there. And so for me, let's spend money on these coordinators who really, they're the ones working with the players every single day. So it's very important to have the top-notch coordinators. And that's where I was hoping we would go, instead of firing Dan Mullen and going out and catching the next best thing and getting a guy like, having to write a contract like what Lincoln Riley got out of USC or something like that. That's what I was concerned with letting Dan Mullen go. But sounds like, for now, sounds like Billy Napier is a good coach. Might be the right fit. But at least it sounds like, Florida in general is trying to do the things that they need to do so that we can start recruiting the top recruits again. And that's, investing in the facilities and investing in the recruiting game all around, and getting good coordinators in here.
Yeah, it'd be nice, man, if he can bring y'all back to prominence and Norvell can get it going in the next 5 years. It'd be nice for those Florida State games to actually start meaning something again. And then maybe we can go to one, or at least watch with purpose. But
yeah, and it's one of those catch-22. So it's like, obviously Georgia is is a big rival of Florida, and they're riding high right now. So to have Georgia playing at a top level and then Florida State also playing at a top level at the same time, since I've been alive, I haven't had a situation where we've had
welcome to Miami and Florida on your schedule every damn year in the 90s.
Yeah. So, I guess you guys experienced it, but we, as Florida fans, for us, it was pretty much Florida State, and then Florida State fell off and Georgia started to pick up. And so then we had some really great rivals with Georgia. So, but it's one of those things where it's like, yeah, it's tough to have both your rivals both playing at a high level, but man, that would be some exciting football.
Yeah.
Or we got LSU too. LSU, or Brian Kelly, if you could really turn them back into what they've been in the past. Man,
yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what he does there as well. So they always talk about, it's hard to recruit at Notre Dame. Well, not hard. It's one of the most storied programs.
Point average.
But yeah, like you have to recruit
record.
Student athletes. Yeah, you got to do background checks. You got to see if their, parents are, whatever.
Yeah.
Louisiana, they don't care. They don't give a shit. Yeah. So welcome to the SEC. Welcome to like the South, where all those kids you wanted to go to Notre Dame, they're now in your backyard. It's going to be interesting to see how that goes. It's also going to be interesting to see how he relates to them coming from, because I just feel like it's a different type of player at Notre Dame than you have at LSU, Florida State, Alabama, Georgia, Florida, all this. So it'll be interesting to see if he can relate to them. It looks like he's already trying to blend in with the accent. So
Yeah, that's not a good sign. If you feel like you got to come in there and change the way you talk, then that to me says that you don't really understand how you need to relate to the young kids.
Yeah.
So,
I mean,
it's like it's kind of
kinda-
similar to the Dan Mullen with the sneakers thing. Like it was kind of a
that was
weird
just
thing that everybody
funny.
kind of get onto him about, and
Yeah.
so you got to figure out ways to relate to him, like genuinely.
Jimbo Fisher, I mean, he definitely like walking around in cowboy boots. He didn't do that in Tallahassee at all.
Yeah.
He's out there buying like, farmlands and cattle, and he's playing the part. I mean, when you got a lot of
Yeah.
money, you can kind of, oh, let's thought about doing this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, he's from West Virginia. I don't know. I mean, whatever floats his boat. But yes, you kind of have to play it a little bit, But LSU is now, I mean, they're just one of those schools like Florida can be. You keep talking about a football facility, they already have it. They already have everything in place.
Mhm.
They got the big name coach now. I mean, it is a big name as in like who's
sure.
available,
Yeah.
pulled him from another school. That's
Well, he's had a lot of
doing
success.
well. Yes.
You can't say he had a lot of success. I mean, even Notre Dame's one of those ones where it's like it seems like they always kind of get the benefit of the doubt in the rankings and stuff like that. But I mean, they
They're
had
always
that
hanging
close game
there.
with Florida State, and people thought like, well, maybe they're not, as good as we thought they were. But here they are, end of the season, and they just missed the playoffs. So
Because they're still independent. They only play 5 ACC games. If they played one more, then they have to join the conference.
Yeah.
So
that could also be another reason why he wanted to leave. Maybe he was like, look, the only way, like our path to these national championships and playoffs is going to the ACC or another conference, and they just completely against it. So maybe
and SEC sounds like a trap to me, because here we got Billy Napier going to Florida, and then you got Oklahoma, Texas coming in. You got, they're going to hire top notch, 12, 14, $16 million quarterbacks. They probably will for quarterbacks
too. Yeah.
But head coaches, it's something. And I kind of feel when I heard Oklahoma and Texas was going in, like I feel left out as a Florida State fan. I'm just like, man, like it's going to get to the point where the SEC is like, it's like the NFL, the SEC, and then the rest of college football, because the rest of college football is not going to matter compared to the SEC, because everybody wants to watch those top-notch games. And especially when you're going to have, when you add Oklahoma, you add Texas, and add whoever the hell else. You got to think they probably get like 75% of the top 300, the top 1,000. Like all the best players are going to these schools. So it's just one of those things that is easy to take shots at and stuff like that. But this is big boy league.
Well, I was talking with my father-in-law today, and I'm like, I mean, how many playoffs now have we had where it's 2 SEC teams in the playoff?
Oh yeah, it's a given.
I mean, that's crazy to me. What, maybe half?
Yeah, well, that's what I was thinking. Like once those other teams join the SEC, we could have a 4-team playoff with SEC teams.
Right, with just the SEC. Yeah, I mean,
I'm a big proponent of putting the best teams in, and I think a lot of people are going to watch, but no other conference wants to see all 4 SEC teams. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, you're gonna have to start having the SEC is gonna have a 14 playoff, and then be like, all right, you get one. So have your 14 playoff, get your champion, and then you send them into the playoff.
Right.
Well, whoever wants the SEC, the rest of college football can pick a playoff to play the SEC, because they're going to have all the damn money. They're going to do whatever the hell they want.
Yeah, I mean, the SEC is like Disney,
Yeah,
just going to acquire all the top companies. Disney is, and so SEC is just going to keep trying to acquire all the top.
Sounds like Democrats to me.
Right. So I didn't see any news really with Florida State. I just saw that our assistant coaches were on the recruiting trail, and saw some updates on that. I didn't see that we gained anyone that we weren't supposed to. Luckily, I didn't see that we lost anyone. Hardo, can you speak more to that, or did you see pretty much the same thing?
He's not talking. I'll go ahead and jump in. I did see Marvin Jones Sr., the great shade tree, Hall of Famer, college football Hall of Famer, retired jersey at Florida State. Did like what makes me a Seminole. And he had about 7, 8 relatives that have played at Florida State. If they were brothers, they were cousins, sisters, what name it, across the board, all went to Florida State. So it kind of gave me confidence of having Marvin Jones Jr. There's also a top like 50 wide receiver from St. Louis. Everybody's predicting that he's gonna come over. I heard a transfer from Oregon wide receiver. He is Michael Pittman Jr., who is a wide receiver at the Indianapolis Colts that went to the USC. He was a top 100 in 2019. Hasn't done nothing. I don't know stat wise. I think he has like a total of 500 yards in the last 2-3 years / COVID. I don't know, a couple touchdowns, but blazing speed, this and that. Kind of intriguing, I mean, Oregon gets some ball players, so maybe he's falling down the pack, but maybe
Yeah.
we can steal a Jermaine Johnson. Who knows? But I mean, that's what I've been hearing. I can feel that Florida State can kind of get on a roll to where it's like, and that's what we're hoping for. This is our whole season here. This is our Super Bowl. This is our bowl game. This is our Florida versus Florida State. We got to win this. So I can see, and I did see Travis Hunter tweet at this Oregon. It's Mekhi Pittman. Come be a Knoll, and he retweeted the Seminole emoji, which are like arrows. I don't really know what that is, but I'll stop blabbering. I feel confident, but we can definitely pick up some steam here and finish very high. If we don't, it's still going to be probably better than the Gators or anybody in the state of Florida or anybody in the ACC. Maybe Clemson can jump us, maybe another school, but
Maybe
we're
not
going to
after
do
this
good.
season.
We're going to do good. But we're still a long way
Yeah,
away.
and after I mentioned it, I said Hartle. Your thoughts? I don't know if you thought I said Tyler. Maybe I
Yeah.
Oh, you did? I saw him mute. I thought he froze again because I didn't see the hair move.
Yeah,
You know?
Tyler didn't speak because he heard me say Hartle. What are your thoughts?
Right. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I saw Kelly Slater again. Sorry.
Johnny Bravo or Johnny.
We jealous of the hair.
We were joking before you got on.
We're
Tyler.
jealous.
I was like, man, I didn't wear a hat last week just to prove that I wasn't bald. But Tyler split up me like, and you went and got a haircut and super cut.
No, I wanted to get a haircut. I've been trying to get a haircut for like 3 weeks. So,
hey, what's wrong with being bald?
Nothing if you got a nice round head like you got, Ryan.
Yeah.
I don't think it would look so good on me.
Y'all still shaved down there? Are y'all bald? Just kidding. Trying to spice up the our viewership has gone way down since Jared has been
down
here.
There because I heard you have down there, like your receptors in your scalp stop producing hair. So I'm just growing everything out.
Well, I don't have any problem with this growing hair. You know, I grow hair everywhere you don't want to grow hair.
Luckily for me, my mother can't watch this, so I don't care. But y'all moms are also kind of like my second moms growing up. So Mrs. Hartle, Mrs. Rust, we're sorry, but
trust me, my mom doesn't watch this.
Okay. My parents do. Hey, Dad.
Yeah,
hey,
Connie's been responding, making some comments and stuff. We appreciate it, Connie. Thank you.
We need to get you on here.
Yeah.
So there we go.
Other thing, let's talk about. So we talked about like recruiting and head coaches and stuff. So did y'all both watch the Alabama Georgia game? That was a pretty game. So I know we were texting in the group about it. Hartle was watching basketball as well. He was watching us get our ass beat to Syracuse by one point. But so Georgia Alabama Conference Championship SEC. Final score 41-24. We obviously know that game was a little bit closer than that, especially I think we were in the group. And one of the best first halves of football I've seen, especially this year, but in a while. Yeah. And it's just one of those things, man. Alabama gets a little bit more time. Saban is, until he gets knocked off, I mean, he's the master prepare, like game plan,
Yeah.
X's and O's guys. No one saw that going that way. And, all we've heard is, Georgia's defense. It was after that game that everyone started to question their defense and be like, well, maybe all the offenses they played suck, or, so crazy game. I didn't see it going that way, but Alabama does it again. And I think, they're number one now, they're number one seed. Georgia dropped to 3. So crazy game.
Yeah. And I kind of wondered about that. Like, what's going to happen with Georgia. I just felt like they were going to make sure the playoff committee was going to make sure that we didn't have an immediate rematch of the SEC championship game. So, and to be honest with you, yeah. So, I mean, Georgia, they're still good. They're still a great defense. I'm not trying to take anything away from them, but I was shocked. And then also now seeing how Michigan's playing lately, the last couple of weeks, Michigan's really impressive. So I don't know. I mean, at one point, at one point late in the season, I definitely thought, can anybody beat Georgia? Like, is there anybody who can really compete on the field with them?
Right.
And now I'm wondering if they're going to get past this first round of the playoffs. So not, again, they're a good team. They played a good team in Alabama. Like you said, none of us saw that happening. It was a great game. It was close. The score, I feel like it was doesn't really give a good indication how the game was. Although I still feel like Bama kind of controlled that game the whole time.
Other than the first quarter. I mean, 10-0.
Yeah, it was definitely back and forth in the first quarter.
Yeah.
But
yeah, the next 3 quarters was Bama.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I how much I've been watching college football, it just makes sense that this would happen. Someone that's been so dominant through the year, and they come out the last game of the season. It happens. I mean, I guarantee you, if there was some type of statistic, you'd probably dropping that jaw like, really? Like, I think Georgia's going to win the whole damn thing. I really do. I think that they're going to come back. They're going to beat the hell out of Michigan. Watch them get their ass beat, because we sure thought Ohio State was going to beat Michigan. But I think they're going to beat Michigan, and they're going to play Alabama again. And guess what? This time it's going to happen. Not probably going to be a rout. It's probably going to be a close one, but Georgia is going to win the game that matters. And that happens time after time, because Florida State beat Florida in their first national championship game. No way we're looking to see Florida State win that game, period. Didn't matter. What Florida did to Florida State that national championship game was what they were supposed to do the first game they played them, and it didn't happen. This is why they played the game. So I was still, if I was a gambler and, hey, you got 10 grand, I'm putting it on Georgia right now, just because this is how things play out to me. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. So sorry, not to cut you off. Sorry. The one thing that was I think everyone was so surprised is the week before it took Alabama 4 overtimes to beat a 6-win.
Right. I think that's,
and there was plenty of times during the regular season. I mean, looking back at how bad Florida ended up being, maybe Florida was really good in the beginning of the year and they just progressively got worse, or maybe they were just always bad and Alabama struggled against an above average team. So I think that was the most surprising thing, is not that they lost. It's just that as mediocre for Alabama as Alabama was, to come in and then do something to that team with Georgia that no team could do all year. I mean, I think the most touchdowns they gave up all year in a game was 2, and then Alabama just had their way with them. So it also kind of goes back to where it's like, maybe Saban just has Kirby Smart's number. So there's been years in the past where it's just he owns them. So I don't know. Like, Tyler, what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, trying to look at like what was Florida when Alabama played them versus when Georgia played them. I mean, it's kind of the trap of when you try to look at a schedule and you be like, oh, well, they both played this team, but they beat this team by this much, and they played a close game. And then, you can't really go by that. And then, how teams progress throughout the season, like, you got a young team and then they really get it together late in the season. What it really comes down to is they're both incredibly talented teams. Like, regardless of like how good Florida was, if they got worse during the year, if they really were better at the beginning, it's 2 very talented teams. And then, you got a lineup, you got to go play. They got big boys on both sides of the ball, both teams. And I don't know. I just to me, I was really impressed by Alabama's quarterback. Help me out with the name because I'm so bad with names now.
Bryce
Bryce Young.
Young.
Bryce Young. So, wow, what an impressive performance. I don't know if Alabama's just able to expose Georgia in the passing game the way other teams weren't, or if it was just an off game by Georgia or what. But so it'll be interesting to see kind of this next game, with Michigan.
Yeah.
How does Georgia play? Like, does Georgia return to the same team that they've looked like all year, or does it look like Alabama found a weakness, exploited it, and now other teams can also exploit it the same way? It seems to me like the fast-paced offense really hurt Georgia. So when Alabama was able to get it going fast and move quickly down the field and get lined up and run another play, seemed like that really gave Georgia some struggle. So maybe that's the answer to that defense, but it could also kill you as a team too if you try to run that fast-paced offense and Georgia stops you, and then your defense gets back out there on the field real quick. So
Yeah, it's funny because it's just like you talk about when Florida played Alabama. We're talking about September. You know what I'm saying? So let's just say Alabama and Georgia played each other every week. Is Alabama undefeated against Georgia?
no way.
You know what I'm saying? No, hell
Yeah.
no. And then they're not going to play again another 4 a month.
Yeah.
If
Which
that
would be
happens,
bad for Georgia because Saban is such a genius.
I don't care how genius he is. I mean, it's a difference between, yes, he's won all these national championships, but has he won the last 14 years straight? Nobody's can touch him. You know what I mean? It's like a folklore.
Right, yeah.
He can be beat.
Yep.
Georgia can be beat. All these teams can be beat. We put Georgia on a pedestal, and now we're shocked that they got knocked off. I
Yeah.
think they're gonna come back
I'm
bad.
I'm not shocked that they lost. Like I definitely saw like a possibility for Alabama with their offense as good as they were, especially once you read off the numbers. Like I feel like
Yeah.
maybe we were spoiled the last couple of years on Alabama, and I say spoiled, just we had a perception of Alabama offense the last several years because how huge the numbers they would put up, and then it just didn't look like Alabama was as dominant throughout the season. But then when you read off the numbers and they have 2,000-yard wide receivers and 40 touchdowns for Bryce Young, and
Yeah.
You're like, wow, okay, that's actually a really good offense. It's a really high-powered offense. So, and
Instead of one
knowing that
guy
it's
getting
like two strengths,
2,000 yards and winning the Heisman, they got 2 guys to do that now. You know what I mean? Like,
right?
Well, they got
Exactly.
one guy now. Did y'all see the guy that got hurt in the game? He's out for the rest of the season. It was Mechie.
Yeah, Mechie.
Oh,
Yeah. So
and
that's so that's
Georgia
huge.
can't
That's
beat
huge for
them.
Alabama.
Georgia can't beat them.
Yeah.
Georgia
Yeah,
can't beat them.
I think what was surprising is just the defensive stands that Georgia had every game,
Yeah.
game in,
Yeah.
game out in the SEC. Granted, it's not every team's not Bama. And then I wasn't surprised how they lost, but it was the way they lost. So it's like, dude, this defense hasn't given up anything on defense, on defense. And Bama and Bryce Young is just lighting them up for touchdown after touchdown after touchdown. So that's what I thought was crazy, was the way they did it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
I'm trying to line this up. Sorry to get sidetracked. But Florida State played Syracuse in basketball. And Florida State was going for tying the longest win streak for an ACC team against ACC opponents at home. And the streak was 26. We're sitting at 25. And it was, I don't follow Syracuse basketball. I understand they're good. I know their coach, Boheim, but I can't even say his damn name. But both his sons played there. But watching the game, listening to it, we ended the game. We missed 26 3-pointers, lost by 3. You're thinking like one's got to rattle in. It's a different game. Anyways, but someone's quoted. They were just like, you can't really knock Leonard Hamilton and Florida State because I've been watching Syracuse basketball for, I can't tell you how long, but I have never seen them play a 1-3-1 defense. And that kind of just like a good coach would do that. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like Saban, you give him some time, and this is where I'm trying to meet it back in, where what Adam's saying here, where you can't ever count out Saban.
Right.
He's going to always be ready to go when the time is ready to go,
Yeah. He's going to know where your defensive strengths are. He's going to know what you're just not going to be able to do. Like they ran the ball a little bit against Georgia early, but they did it just to keep that offense balanced, knowing that they're not going to be able to run against Alabama. They got to throw some runs in, or no, sorry, they're going to be running against that defense for Georgia. So they got to throw some runs in, but they were passing the ball as much as possible, trying to find those weak spots in the defense. And, they figured it out, and that's what Bama does.
Yeah.
Right. So, Selection Sunday was today. So final, I know y'all already know, but for anyone watching, Alabama 1, Michigan 2, Georgia 3, Cincinnati 4. Cincinnati might not make it out of that game alive, much less against Alabama. It'll be interesting to see though, because it's one of the first times in a while, if ever, in the playoff where a team outside of the Power Five broke in, and almost every year there's that one team, and that school's fans, whether it's UCF or whoever, is always like, oh, they deserve a chance, they deserve a chance, they deserve a chance. All right, Cincinnati is now going to be the team that gets that chance. Let's see what happens when they go and play Alabama. You know what I mean? That could be a slaughter.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, I've been listening to the granted, it's what do these guys really know? But listen to the pundits on ESPN, the college football game day, and they've been talking up Cincinnati all season. I can't really say that I've watched them, so it'll be interesting to finally watch them and see how they really do match up against not just a Power Five team, but like the top team, one of the top teams. So they've what you had UCF, they went and they beat Auburn. That one year you've had Boise State step up and beat
Oklahoma.
Yeah,
because Auburn beat both teams that played in it. Is that when Georgia and Alabama I think played in it? No,
they even tried to claim
Auburn,
it.
right? They beat Auburn. Auburn beat Georgia and Alabama.
Even that I think they even, if I'm not mistaken, I think they even paid to have rings made that said national.
I believe you're right. Didn't they have a parade? They had a parade
probably,
for
man. How miserable can you get?
Right.
Who are we talking about?
UCF.
Oh yeah,
they beat Auburn and
they went
McKenzie Milton.
Yeah.
Oh. He was good when he was good.
When he was good.
Yeah. So it'll be interesting to see that Cincinnati Alabama game, and then obviously Georgia Michigan. Like you mentioned, Tyler, Michigan has had, they knocked off Ohio State. Jim Harbaugh couldn't get that monkey off his back for 5 years. He finally did. They win their conference championship pretty handily. So that game will be interesting as well to see how Georgia bounces back. Granted, it won't be for a few weeks, I'm sure, right?
The first
should be 2 weeks, right?
Yeah. Okay.
I heard it was on New Year's Eve. I'm sorry. I heard it was on New Year's Eve.
Next national. Wait, hold on. What? So it's a month and then it's 2 weeks for the national championship game?
Is it 2 weeks for the national championship game?
I mean, it's playoffs, so first round and second round.
Well, if it's the 30th, that's 3 weeks.
I'll look. I don't have it.
I thought they played the next week.
They don't have the bowl games out, so we'll figure it out. No game's gonna be played before the second episode or the 13th episode.
Number 1, Alabama versus number 4, Cincinnati, Cotton Bowl. That's Friday the 31st, 3:30, and then Michigan and Georgia same day at 7:30. So the 31st, both games, and then the championship is the 10th. So it's about 10 days after that. So yeah, we got a few weeks for the playoff.
National championship, is it on a Monday?
Yeah. So the playoff is on New Year's Eve, and then the championship is on Monday the 10th. But that's
which New Year's Eve, I guess, is a Friday. That's why it's 10 days.
Happens to be a Friday, yeah.
Okay, all right, that makes sense.
So take off work if you guys are scheduled.
Adam,
I can't take off work during that time.
I got the same text from other Florida State fans that we're targeting Louisville's athletic director.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So I guess we didn't mention that. I just saw that before the show. So
Vince Tyra.
Yeah, so Tyler, I guess Florida State's targeting or at least talking to University of Louisville's athletic director, and me and Hartle were talking about it while you were fixing your hair.
As having computer issues.
Yeah, you threw us off. So
So I guess right now,
Computer issues where the hair didn't look right on the computer is what it was.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. So that'll be exciting. Kind of right now, that's the president of FSU doing everything. So, I mean, I don't know if it'll change, especially when we already have Norvell in place and you can't fire him. It's not like you're going to get a new AD and he brings over his own coach, but still be nice to have a dedicated AD.
Yeah. You just, I guess the only concern there is just hopefully that the coach and the AD do have a good relationship, because there has been, issues. And I think that was a big issue with when we got our current AD, Scott Strickland and McElwain. Like they just didn't really seem to get along. They didn't click very well.
Right.
And I think that played a big part in why we lost, why McElwain ultimately ended up getting fired.
So, I mean, David Coburn has been the intern athletic director. Basically, whenever we hire one, he would retire.
The interim?
And it's been going since 2019. And this guy has never, ever worked athletics before. So that's wonder why with Florida State's at the position they're at right now. Take a wild stab at it.
Yeah. All right. I think we've covered almost everything college we could without either of our teams playing.
Right.
Yeah, we're avoiding the real talk.
Yeah. All right. So I guess all we have left, Jacksonville Jaguars.
Who?
Out to LA. It was nice to have a 4:00 game instead of a 1:00 game. Well, I guess at this point it doesn't really matter, but Jaguars 7, LA 37. Trevor Lawrence 16 for 28, 145 yards, no touchdowns, no picks, although he tried to throw some picks. Matthew Stafford went off 26 for 38.
Now he went off in the second half because I saw he had 0 touchdowns at I had played somebody in fantasy football. It was halftime and Stafford had like 7 points. I'm like, oh hell yeah, I'm gonna beat the hell out of this guy. And then next time I looked at it, it was 30 points. I was like, what the heck happened?
Yeah.
Yeah.
One thing I noticed early in one thing I noticed in the first half was that Stafford and Odell Beckham were they just couldn't connect, and they you could tell their timing was really off, because Odell Beckham was running open multiple times, and he was definitely could have burned us, and Stafford just couldn't hit him. So I don't know what happened in the second half, and they just really started scoring big time on us. It just really kind of blew the doors off of it.
Yeah. This was one of those games. I feel like every week we try to be optimistic and say, well, yeah, will this happen? Will this happen? Man, I watched this game start to finish pretty closely. Wasn't a whole lot going on. We suck. We are awful.
So I
Trevor
read
Lawrence
this.
sucked. We can't run the ball. Carlos Hyde,
Yeah.
James Robinson fumbles on the first possession. Trevor Lawrence didn't have any interceptions, but he tried to have a couple.
This is where we were afraid of Florida State, Adam. Like, if they start quitting, you know what I mean? Like, if things start getting ugly,
how bad it could get.
And I kind of feel like it's kind of going that direction. I mean, how do you feel about that, Adam?
I mean, I think I think we're there, and I think it's definitely a lot easier to give up in the NFL than the college level, because these guys, I mean, they're getting paid regardless. You know what I mean? It's not whether a running back runs for 100 yards or 0, or a defensive tackle gets a sack or not. It doesn't matter. I mean, our season's over. We got 2 wins. Granted, that's double the wins we had last year, but
you don't think these guys are fighting, like when you're this bad?
Yeah.
But they're not fighting for their jobs, though. You think that
I think they're all that bad. I mean, I don't think half this team starts in the NFL. I mean, they're just that young, too.
Mhm.
I mean, this is the positive thing. They're young. They're getting experience. But I actually want to just talk about Gardner Minshew a little bit. He did start for Philadelphia today and won and played very impressive. Kind of looked like, wow, man, if he can look like that with the offensive line, maybe we should have kept his ass other than a 5th round damn draft pick.
And then got an offensive line.
I actually found this article before he even started. I just typed in Minshew. I think I sent it to y'all. I was like,
Yeah.
crazy stats.
Oh,
Let me
no.
just read a couple of
You
these.
sent the celebration with his
Oh,
With
yeah,
dad.
his
okay.
dad,
Here.
which is really cool.
Listen to this. This is a Philadelphia article. Minshew is one of only 5 quarterbacks in NFL history to have a passing rating over 90 in each of his first 2 seasons, with a minimum of 250 attempts for each season. The others are Dan Marino, Ben Roethlisberger, and Russell Wilson. Minshew's 93.1 career passer rating is the 2nd highest in NFL history by a player that was drafted in the 5th round or later, with over 500 attempts. He's second only to the 6th round pick of Tom Brady, who has a 97.3. Minshew is one of 5 players who have averaged over 240 yards per game and completed at least 62% of his passes in his first 2 seasons. The others were Patrick Mahomes, Dan Marino, Deshaun Watson, and Kyler Murray. Minshew is the only player in NFL history with 15 or more touchdown passes and 6 or fewer interceptions in each of his 2 seasons. There's only 7 players that had 1 season, including Otto Graham in 1946, Marino in 83. There's more. I mean, he's one of 5 players. He's the only one of 3 players. Others are Mahomes and Aaron Rodgers, Mahomes, Kurt Warner, and Marino. Like, what? Like, what? Well, yeah, he went 1 and 15 because their asses were horrible. And look at guess who's in there now, Trevor Lawrence. And he looks horrible. Our team sucks.
Yeah.
Minshew wasn't the problem.
So how good could Trevor Lawrence look if he would have come out and started on a good team?
I mean, that's where we're at. It's difficult. I mean, we got the most money in cap, and it looks like we're not even going to try to spend it. So I mean, I don't really know what I'm dumbfounded. I don't know what you expect. I mean, it looks pretty shitty.
Yeah, and we've been here for a while. We have some seasons pop up where it looks like it's going to be promising, and that we're maybe getting it turned around, and we're going to start winning, and then we don't.
We still doubled our wins
right here where we've been for a while.
We doubled our wins. This is huge.
And here's what's crazy. So Harley, talk about all the money we have available to spend, and we probably won't. The 1 year, and we talked about this last week. The 1 year we should have went to the Super Bowl, but we got cheated by the refs and Tom Brady because Miles Jack wasn't down.
Yeah.
What did we do in that offseason? You mentioned it last week, Hartle. We went and we got guys to fill in those spots and veterans to help out. So it's like you proved it in your own organization that just 4 years ago that worked and you almost went to the Super Bowl. So why not do it again? Not to mention Shad Khan's a billionaire, bro. Like, what does he care? So I don't know if it's front office. I don't know if Shad Khan's running things behind the scenes. I don't know if it's his dumbass kid, Tony, that is like, no, we're good the way we are. I don't get it. But whatever we're doing is not working. And I'm glad that you brought up Gardner Minshew because, he went off today. So you mentioned his career rating. Today, 20 for 25, 242 yards, 2 touchdowns, no picks. His quarterback rating, his overall rating, not his QBR, 133.
Yeah.
So you're right. Like maybe we are being too hard on Trevor and saying, hey, he doesn't have anyone to throw to. He has no time back in the pocket. I mean, you see those plays where he's running for his life.
Yeah, he's definitely right. Yeah, he's running for his life.
Yeah. So, maybe we are being too hard on Trevor, but we got to make some moves, man. Offensive line, receivers, everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Did y'all post also in our message? It was like the other quarterbacks that had terrible rookie years. There's like Troy Aikman. Okay. Yeah. And Dallas did look terrible back then. I think the next year they drafted Emmitt Smith. So, I mean, you saw their process, obviously 93, 94, 95, or 92, 93, 95 championships. So, I mean, it looks like, we actually, Detroit won, so we are getting closer to the number 1 overall pick. So we can be sure to get our left tackle there, Mr. Neal from Alabama.
Yeah.
And then here's the thing too that you got to think. So when you get, these rookies, right? You can only sign them for a certain amount of years.
Yeah.
So in the next few years, if Trevor Lawrence doesn't think that we're making moves or trying to improve, what is he going to do?
Sit out.
He's done.
Done. Yeah. Not signing with us.
No.
Yep.
Yeah. What I mean, and that's the what makes certain teams where they're in the middle of the pack and they're able to get some type of rookie that you don't have to give them $100 million contract. You can draft the Jalen Ramsey and get him for 4 years with a rookie contract.
Yeah.
And you have these other expensive players around them.
And then
We're
when
at
you
the
get rid of a
point.
Ramsey guy, you can get a first round pick or something, or a second, you know what I mean?
Yeah. And them to pull their damn AC or tear their ACL or Achilles or they just absolutely suck with these damn draft picks. Yeah, I'm just defeated with the Jaguars, period.
Yep.
I'm not even gonna lie, I didn't watch the damn game.
You didn't miss much, man. It was brutal from start
I
to
mean,
finish.
I pay attention. I'm looking. I mean, I had Sony Michel in my fantasy team, so I kind of enjoyed when he scored a touchdown.
Yeah,
He broke 100 yards, but
the second half kind of ate into cigar time. So I was like, I could sit here and watch this, or I could just go,
yeah, I
enjoy
could
a
just
cigar.
sit here and be pissed the whole time,
Right.
or just
or relax, smoke a cigar, forget about it.
right.
Up next, the Jaguars, they go to Tennessee. That's on 12/12 at 12 Central Time, so 1 p.m.
Mm-hmm.
There's no line out for it. It's just still too early, but I know Henry's been out for a while.
Yeah.
Does he have a target date to return, or do they not know?
They're banged up. You got Henry, AJ Brown, Julio Jones. They dropped Adrian Peterson. He actually got signed with Seattle and got picked up with the Seahawks. But they got a bunch of no names right now. Their defense is solid. And whatever they're doing on offense for some reason is working. You do have Henry coming back. I saw January. So I think that might be week 16, 17. It is 18 weeks now, 17 game season. So he is coming back. I do not think he's going to be back for the Jaguar game. But don't quote me on that.
I don't think that they need him.
And then AJ Brown and Julio are on the IR, so they have to miss this game. They have to miss at least 3 games.
Right. Well, how lucky are the Titans? So they get those injuries. They got a bye this week. They got a Jaguar bye.
Yeah, right.
Couldn't pick a better time to have 3 of your star guys out for injury.
Yeah, and they're the team that has. I guess it's tough, man. The NFL is just a different animal when it comes to predicting and stuff. I don't know. But they definitely have the talent to take it to the house. I mean, Henry's coming back from injury. So how does he perform after that injury? You have to say the same thing with AJ Brown, who is basically DK Metcalf, and Julio Jones, who's 32 years old, which we understand being 32. I think I slept on the pillow wrong and my back is still aching right now. I'm nowhere near 32. I am 38 years old, but still, you start feeling things a little bit differently.
Yeah.
But I could definitely see them just getting hot at the right time and shocking people, which I would not enjoy.
Yeah, I mean, these are supreme athletes too. But even a guy like Megatron, like the reason why he retired so early was, I mean, he talked about how he couldn't even really bend his ankles.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I mean, age plays a factor, but I don't know. I just not against us.
not to mention the city of Detroit will make you be one of the best ever to be at your position and retire.
Real quick.
Right. Yeah.
Very.
They got 2 now.
One of the other funny things, or I guess interesting things that I saw is it came out today or yesterday that this is probably Big Ben's last season and he's done.
Good.
I think it was reported that he told players within the organization. So one of the funny things I saw floating around the metaverse, as Mark Zuckerberg would call it, is Aaron Rodgers leaves after this year and goes to Pittsburgh. Can you imagine that, dude?
Yeah. Yeah, because here's the thing, Pittsburgh is still a solid team. They actually have a very good defense, and I think their defense is getting shellacked because of the offense.
Yeah.
Ben sucks, man. I mean, and they got talented like offensive pieces. You got Najee Harris, who is top 5 in rushing, Deontay Johnson, Juju Smith-Schuster, which I believe is injured right now. Pete Fairmouth is the rookie tight end. They call him Baby Gronk out of Penn State. He was a 2nd-round draft pick. He's got the daggone offensive weapons, but he sucks. And he knows it. And I think he wanted maybe a couple more years. I don't think before the season it was like, yeah, this is going to be my last season. But I think how the season has transpired, and maybe he's getting some push from the front office. I don't know. I'm just saying, I think now it's kind of like it's the time to push him out, especially if you freaking land Aaron Rodgers, dude. I mean, that would be a Super Bowl ready team for
Yeah. I
him.
mean, think about
How
it. Like,
old is Roethlisberger?
I
He's
think
our
like,
age,
yeah, he's like a year younger than us.
38, 39.
Yeah.
Your age?
Old as shit.
Yeah.
Ben, I'm not even gonna try to spell it. It spelled it for me.
Put in Roth, it should pop up.
39. Born 82. I was born 82. He was born in March. I was born in December.
Yeah,
Have the
so-
same
Yeah, I was
body
thinking- I
type
was
and
thinking he was a little
everything,
bit
dude.
older.
I'm pretty sure I could have been.
You weigh the same, about the same height.
I got the same arm as him right now because I believe his arm is pretty weak right now.
Yeah.
That's like
put me
if
in,
you
coach.
go, me and The Rock were about the same height and the same weight. So.
Yeah, but your hair is so
All
much
that's
better
missing is the
looking.
body fat.
Right, exactly. But I got him on the hair. He doesn't really have much else.
Exactly.
I think Adam pointed it out, the body mass index, but we won't go there.
But yeah,
No,
that'd
the
be
BMI is probably the
Rodgers
same.
Went there. I mean, he's already used to the shitty weather in Green Bay, so it's not like anything he has to get used to. And it's like you just plug him in and they win a championship.
Yeah, and you got to think Aaron Rodgers is probably the same age, but also Aaron Rodgers gets injured for the Green Bay Packers. They go 3-13, but when he's there, they're like 14-2. They're 13-3. They're the number 1 seed. You know what I mean? So he's definitely the key guy that could flip Pittsburgh real quick because they're a young team other than this old ass quarterback that I don't know what the hell he was thinking. I don't think he took the offseason off. Maybe COVID messed him up. I don't know. Because quarterbacks are going deeper. I mean,
Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, but he was
38 2 days ago.
38.
38 December 2nd, so 3 days ago.
And so you got Brady. Drew Brees went in 40, 41 or something like that.
Yeah.
I mean, Big Ben made it 38. I mean, that's probably way past what he should have done. I mean,
yeah, health wise, I mean, he should have died in a motorcycle accident 20 years ago. Y'all remember that?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, it seems like Aaron Rodgers is right at that perfect age to be upset and pissed off enough at Green Bay to go somewhere and get a 3-year deal, like God knows how much money, and then just be done.
Yeah, Elway
was
his 2 championships was in his late 30s,
yeah.
Which we knocked him off. He would have had 3 if the Jaguars didn't upset him in '96. Yeah, but I think you got to give it up to Elway. I guess Shannon Sharp, was it Ed McCaffrey? Are we talking about CMC now these days? His son, but I mean, he was poised. He was seasoned. He was ready to go to win those championships.
Yeah, I'm kidding, but he was definitely later in his career. But yeah, you still have to have a quarterback that's able to get it done. So
yeah.
Anything else, guys? I think we're right about an hour. I don't know. We definitely don't have to cut it off, but
yeah. No, I mean, unless y'all got a funny story, try to spice up this podcast so we can get a little bit more. I know the editing. We got to send out some things just to
get some funny clips out there.
Yeah, we definitely
because we got some funny moments that we got to highlight so people can see.
Yeah, I think, and then we posted on Facebook. My wife showed me, and I didn't do anything about it, but it was said the episode 11, and you click on it, and it was like Adam hey, welcome to the Backyard Quarterbacks, episode 2, and it just starts rolling, and it's like, oh,
no.
snap, yeah. So I don't know if I uploaded 2 for 11, or you put the wrong one on, but because it says 11, so I'm guessing it might be my fault. I don't know. Maybe we should look at that.
I got a funny story.
There we go. Here we
Go
go.
ahead.
So I started this new job on Monday, and I can't say what it is, what company, because of the story I'm about to tell.
Well, congratulations on the new job.
And the firing after they see this.
Yeah.
Subsequent firing.
Right. It was a good week. So, with COVID, everything's virtual, and y'all know all my jobs have always been like over the phone, like sales positions. So really no need to be in the office anyway. So it's all remote, and it's a huge training class. It's like 60 people. So imagine a company trying to get out, computer equipment, laptops, everything. So, and then on a Monday where everyone's in the Zoom meeting trying to, get on the same page. Did you guys get this? And then the trainer's trying to wrangle everyone. All right, go here, do this, whatever. And, everyone's got video or whatever. And it's this girl, and you can see her just like it's a Zoom meeting, just like how we record our podcasts. And she's like, you can see her getting visibly frustrated. So rather than being like, raising her hand or, hey, I have a question, can you help me? She was like getting frustrated. She's just like, this is some bullshit. This is some bullshit. And you can see her like on the computer, like, and then she's just like, keeps going. And then like the trainer says something like, not like anything bad or, negative or mean towards her or whatever. She says, y'all got me fucked up. And she closes the laptop.
What?
In a work training meeting, Zoom class with 60 other people.
Yeah.
We're like 2 hours into this job. So and she like does that, like the trainer comes on, like this poor sweet trainer, she's like, guys, sorry for that, that's obviously not professional, that's not normal, I don't know what's going on. And, yeah, so next, like people are like messaging each other like, what the heck, just whatever. And so the next day, like one of the HR persons like kicks off the meeting, is like, hey, I just want to apologize for yesterday, that's not normal. Obviously, with with new hires, it's out of our hands. If something like that happens, we can't control that, but these things happen. But I do want to say I'm sorry. It goes without saying, that kind of language, that kind of behavior is not acceptable. That person is obviously no longer a part of the training class. Hopefully, from here on out, everything goes smooth. Enjoy training. So, yeah.
Wow.
Fucking dude, she just her last words on day 1 of training were, "Y'all got me fucked up," and she closed the monitor.
Was there anything that you can think of that could have set her off?
Like, I think because our trainer's like trying to guide us, go to here for this, fill this out, because it's day 1, like hour 2.
Okay.
And I get it that not everyone's proficient in computer and Microsoft or whatever, but she wasn't saying, hey, go out here and write a program from scratch or anything like that. So she got frustrated. Y'all got me fucked up. I'm out. I'm like,
so she was getting pissed off at like whatever she's being instructed to do. She's not getting it to work on her computer.
Right. Yeah.
And then she was just like, nope, not doing this.
About like when you start a new class in school or a new job, like day 1's basically like you don't have to do anything.
I'm gonna drop this class. Hell no, they got me. Yeah.
Exactly. It's like, hey, I'm gonna drop them before they drop me.
And I get my refund, and I get it back. I ain't got to pay nothing.
Yeah. But I'm like, it's
that's Ryan. That was Ryan Hartle's experience in college.
Yeah, that was my
they had
Adams
me
too.
A couple times. They had me a couple times. They tell you that much.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, I definitely had to drop a couple classes. It's like this ain't gonna happen.
That's all I got, guys.
Yeah, that was a good one. I was waiting for then I DM'd her and she's coming over at like 12.
Oh man.
Come over. Hey, come over and I'll.
Hey, I got you. What's wrong? What was the problem? What was the issue?
What you did wrong? What you needed help with?
Well, that's the thing too. So it's like people from. It's not just Jacksonville. She could have been in
Mhm.
California, New York. I don't know.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Yeah.
She apparently didn't need a damn job. I'll tell you that.
She had a dial-up internet, probably. She had a Tyler Russ internet at the beginning.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I don't know what was going on. Just like we just got a new server. It's supposed to be like, it's much newer technology.
Right.
But I say server. I mean the box, the router box.
All right, Tyler, you want to sign us off?
Sign us off,
Yep,
buddy.
absolutely. All right, guys. Thanks for watching the 12th episode of the Backyard Quarterbacks podcast. Don't forget to comment, like, subscribe.
Go
If you have any comments on the upcoming playoffs or
Yeah.
anything about the new new Gators head coach, I want to talk anything recruiting, just feel free to comment. We love to interact with you guys. So
Hit
thanks
my
again for watching.
Venmo, hit my
You're
Cash
gonna have
App.
a Venmo or
yeah,
any way
yeah,
that you can
yeah,
donate any money.
Here we go.
But thanks for supporting us, just hitting that like button and subscribing. Thanks, guys. Love you.
Love you guys.
Bye.